Shalom. And give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah. Bahashem Yahawashi, Bahashem Rawchaa, Qadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, Greatmillstone, for teaching me this truth according to the Bible. I want to get into this lesson talking about America, which is Babylon the Great. So this is Jeremiah 50. It says, the word of the Lord spake against Babylon and against the land of the Chaldeans, which is basically Edomites, right? Which is the Caucasians. By Jeremiah the prophet, declare ye among the nations and publish, and set up a standard, publish and conceal not. Say Babylon is taken, Bel is confounded, Merodach is broken in pieces, which Merodach goes into the idol, right? The idol of first Babylon. Her idols are confounded, her images are broken in pieces. For out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, they shall depart both man and beast, right? Because those nations, because we know Russia, Iran, and China are going to be the main ones going against America in World War III, right? In those days and in that time, saith the Lord, the children of Israel shall come, they and the children of Judah together, going and weeping. They shall go and seek the Lord their power. And is not that what we're doing now? Now is high time to awake out of sleep. They shall ask the way to Zion with their faces thitherward, saying, come and let us join ourselves to the Lord in a perpetual covenant that shall not be forgotten. Right? And the covenant, the second covenant, is only for the Israelites. Right? So the things are going to be in our minds in the kingdom of heaven. So the laws are going to be in our minds. We're not going to be able to go off. My people have been lost sheep. Their shepherds have caused them to go astray. They have turned them away on the mountains. They have gone from mountain to hill. They have forgotten their resting place. So they're all spread out through these other governments, right? All that found him have devoured them. And their adversaries say, we have fed not, because they have sinned against the Lord. And remember, get it real quick, because the nations know when we sin or go off against the Most High, that's when He brings His destruction and His chastening upon us, right? It says, Judith, get straight to the point, 5 and 20, right? And this is Kiar, the captains of all the sons of Ammon, which is Japanese, right? And because they were joined with Nebuchadnezzar. Nebuchadnezzar, king of the Assyrians. Right? So it says 5 verse 19, Judah 5 verse 19. Actually 20. Now therefore, my Lord and Governor, if there be any error in this people, and they sin against their power, let us consider that this shall be their ruin, and let us go up, and we shall overcome them. But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord now pass by, lest the Lord defend them, and their power be for them, and we become a reproach before all the world. And in that time, they did become a reproach in all the world, right? Because the Most High defended them, right, and delivered them through through even a woman, right, Judith, right? But it's all the Most High's will, right? So that's why if we're reading that and knowing that, we should be on point, right? So Jeremiah 50 verse 7, all that found them, so these other nations have devoured them. And their adversary said, we offend not, because they have sinned against the Lord, the habitation of justice, even Yahawah, the hope of their fathers. Remove out of the midst of Babylon, and go forth out of the land Chaldeans, and be as he-goats before the flocks. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken, her arrow shall be of a mighty excellent man, none shall return in vain. So when these missiles are shot off, they're not going to return. They're all gonna detonate, basically. And Chaldea shall be a spoil, all that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith the Lord. Because ye were glad, because ye rejoiced, O ye destroyers of mine heritage, because ye are grown fat as a heifer at grass, and bellow as bulls. Right? That's why they're so rich here in America. That's why the economy is so great and such like that. Right? Because they destroyed the heritage, destroyed the children of Israel, and still got them destroyed. Right? Your mother shall be sore confounded, like Great Britain. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land, and a desert. Because of the wrath of the Most High, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goes by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at her plagues. And these plagues are coming now, where it's growing, right? Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, all ye that bend the bow. Shoot at her, spare no arrows, for she hath sinned against the Lord. Right? And that's deep. That's deep. So anybody that has these missiles of them going against America, he's just saying, send them one. Cut off the sower from Babylon, and him that handleth the sickle in the time of harvest. For fear of the oppressing sword, they shall turn everyone to his people, and they shall flee everyone to his own land. So these, if these Moabites here, some are going to leave to go back to their home, right? Ammonites, the Moabites are the Chinese, Ammonites are the Japanese, they're going to be fleeing. And there's a multitude, this is the boiling pot, right? There's a multitude of nations here, right? That they're going to be wanting to leave and get out of here and go back to their homeland, right? Israel is a scattered sheep. The lions have driven him away. First the king of Assyria have devoured him, and last is Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, have broken his bones, right? Therefore thus saith the Lord of hosts, the power of Israel, that behold, I will punish the king of Babylon and his land as I have punished the king of Assyria. And I will bring Israel again to his habitation. He shall feed on Carmel and Bashan, and his soul shall be satisfied on Mount Ephraim and Gilead. In those days and in that time, saith the Lord, the iniquity of Israel shall be sought for, and there shall be none, in the sinners of Judah, and they shall not be found, for I will pardon them whom I reserve, the elect. Right? It's like you. Because what? Gonna punish them for what they did to us, and we was getting punished for our iniquity going off. But as it says, when our iniquity had an end, they were still punishing us, right? My jaw's kind of funny right now. Go up, 21. Go up against the land of Muratham, even against the inhabitants of Pekod, waste and utterly destroy after them, saith the Lord, and do according to all that I have commanded thee. Right? Salakia. A sound of battle is in the land, and of great destruction. So this is talking about this place, America. This destruction is coming straight on this place, America, right? And this battle of World War III is dealing straight with America and against these other nations, right? That's how they're building it up. 23. How was the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? Because America was the one that has the all these bases all over the world, like the police of the earth, when their own kingdom is out of order, right? Because it's the Roman Empire all over again. How has Babylon become a desolation among nations? And you know, this is talking about today, because this didn't happen back with King Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, right? But there's a king of Babylon today, right? Like Trump, he's a king of Babylon, but there's people over him too. He's the puppet. I have laid a snare for thee, and thou art also taken, O Babylon, and thou wast not aware. Thou art found and also caught, because thou hast striven against the Lord. So all the things that America does is against the Lord, right? That's why you got these different unrighteous laws and this homosexuality going on, just all out wickedness, right? The Lord have destroyed the nation of Israel too, put them in captivity, right? Destroyed the Gadites, the Native Americans, right? Just all the nation of Israel, right? The Lord hath opened his armory, and hath brought forth the weapons of his indignation, which is righteous hatred. For this is the work of the Lord, power of hosts, in the land of the Chaldeans, right? The Edomites. Because really the Edomites did this. They gotta pay for it. Come against her from the uttermost border, open her storehouses, cast her up as heaps, and destroy her utterly. Let nothing of her be left, and there is going to become desolate. Slay all her bullocks, let them go down to the slaughter. Woe unto them, for their day is come, the time of their visitation. Because when these ICBMs hit, nothing's going to be spared, right? The voice of them that flee and escape out of the land of Babylon, to declare in Zion the vengeance of the Lord, our power, the vengeance of his temple, right? So that's talking about the elect. The voice of them that flee and escape out of the land of Babylon, to declare in Zion the vengeance of the Lord, our power, the vengeance of his temple. And that's what we're doing now, because he's only doing this because what? They afflicted the Most High's people, Israelites, right? Call together the archers against Babylon, all ye that. So if you got silos with ICBM missiles in it. That's who they're calling. You're the archers. All ye that bend the bow camp against it round about, let none thereof escape. Recompense her according to her work, according to all that she hath done unto her. For she hath been proud against the Lord, against the Holy One of Israel. Therefore shall her young men fall in the streets, and all her men of war shall be cut off in that day, saith the Lord. Behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud. And that's America. Right? Saith the Lord, power of hosts. For thy day is come, the time that I will visit thee. And the most proud shall stumble and fall, and none shall raise him up. And I will kindle fire in his cities, and it shall devour all round about him. So they're going to be a base. Right? They're going to be the lowest of the low. They're going to be destroyed. And those that like the elite of Esau, they're going straight into slavery, and they're not going to be, oh, we might have hope. No, because you're going to be totally destroyed, right? Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, because what? The northern kingdom was already here in the Americas. The southern kingdom came here through cargo slave ships, but then during the transatlantic slave trade, we were shipped from all over the earth, right? And we've been oppressed together here in the Americas. Their Redeemer is strong, the Lord of hosts is his name. He shall thoroughly plead their cause. So he's doing this for us. So we should be glad when we hear that America's going to be destroyed. That he may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon. Because what? This land is polluted, right? Her blood, it defileth the land. Numbers 33 and 20. Yeah, right here. Right. Right here. This is Numbers 35 and 33. So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land. So this land is defiled because of the blood that was spilled, and the blood that was spilled was the innocent and righteous blood, the Israelites, the God's chosen people, right? And the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. That's why these Edomites gotta pay. 35, Jeremiah 50 and 35, a sword is upon the Chaldeans, saith the Lord, and upon the inhabitants of Babylon, and upon her princes, and upon her wise men. A sword is upon the liars, and they shall dote. A sword is upon her mighty men, and they shall be dismayed. A sword is upon her horses, and upon her chariots, and upon all the mingled people that are in the midst of her. Alright, so these other nations, and they shall become as women. Right, so they're not going to be strong, built men no more. They're going to be wailing women. A sword is upon her treasures, and they shall be robbed. a drought because they're not going to be able to use it. A drought is upon her waters, and they shall be dried up. That's how you know it's talking about these ICBM missiles. Because when a missile hit by water, all that water evaporates, right? For it is the land of graven images, and they are mad upon their idols. Because of who? Because what they have seizure bourgeois in these churches, right? Praying to that idol. That's big. And you think about it being in the truth, seizure bourgeois, that's a big idol, right? These Christian churches, that's a big idol worship place. We're preaching the true power, Yahawah Yahawashi, and they're not taking heed. That's why they gotta be put to death, right? Therefore, the wild beasts of the desert with the wild beasts of the island shall dwell there, and the owl shall dwell there, and it shall be no more inhabited forever, because it's gonna be a great desert, right? Neither shall it be dwelt in for generation and generation. As the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighbor cities thereof, saith the Lord, so shall no man abide there, neither shall any son of man dwell therein. Right? Behold, a people, because there's not going to be anything there. It's just going to be destroyed. Behold, a people shall come from the north, and a great nation, and many kings shall rise up from the coast of the earth. They shall hold the bow and the lace. They are cruel and will not show mercy. They are cruel because what? They're going to be killing old women, old men, little babies, little animals, the houses, just everything. Because when that ICBM hit, it don't matter who is close. It don't matter if it's a mosquito. That mosquito's gonna catch it, right? It's not gonna be able to flee, right? They are cruel and will not show mercy, because what? Somebody's on live talking about some don't bomb my city. No, it's still gonna happen. Their voice shall roar like the sea, they shall ride upon horses, everyone put in array like a man to the battle against thee, O daughter of Babylon. Right? O daughter of Babylon, who ought to be destroyed. The king of Babylon hath heard the report of them, and his hands wax feeble. He's shaken, and the anguish took hold of him, and pangs as a woman in travail, because of what? Great fear. Behold, he shall come up like a lion from the swelling of Jordan unto the habitation of the strong, but I will make them suddenly run away from her. And who is the chosen man that I may appoint over her? For who is like me, and who will appoint me the time? And who is that shepherd that will stand before me? Therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord that he hath taken against Babylon, and his purposes that he hath proposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall drive them out. Surely he shall make her habitation desolate with them. So the least of the flock, so these nations that don't finance their military of almost $1 trillion a year, right? But they're the ones that, if you got an ICBM missile, you can still go against America. That's how it is. At the noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved, and a cry is heard among the nations. Because what? It's gonna be known that this place is being destroyed. Right, and it goes into it in Jeremiah 51 too. Let me just start at the top. Jeremiah 51:1. Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon, and against them that dwell in the midst of them, that rise up against me, a destroying wind. And I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land. For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifteth himself up in his brigandine, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her host. Thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, and they that are thrust through in her streets. For Israel hath not been forsaken, nor Judah of his power, of the Lord of hosts, though their land was filled with sin against the Holy One of Israel. Flee out the midst of Babylon, and deliver every man his soul, be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of the Lord's vengeance, and this is the times we're living in. So why wouldn't you turn to the Most High Power of Israel, even though you gotta be patient, even though you gotta endure? This is way better than receiving this destruction. He will render unto her a recompense. 7. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken on these philosophies. Right? And the nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Because what? Now they're seeing that their society has all this confusion in it, right? Has all this rebellion in it, right? Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country, for her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is filled up even to the skies. Let me keep going. The Lord hath brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of the Lord our power. Going back to what it said in Jeremiah 50. Make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Lord hath raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes for his devices against Babylon, to destroy it. Because it is the vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance of his temple. Right? Talking about them Russians. Right? Set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon. Make the watch strong. Set up the watchmen. Prepare the ambushes. For the Lord hath both devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. O thou that dwellest upon many waters. Right? This is how you know it's Babylon. This is how you know it's America. O thou that dwellest upon many waters. So America has these bases all over the world, abundant in treasures, because it's the richest nation on the planet. Thine end is come, and the measure of thy covetousness, so you're not going to be able to reap anymore. Right? He set that bound on you. The Lord hath sworn by himself, saying, surely I will fill thee with men as with caterpillars, and they shall lift up a shout against thee. That's what we're doing on the highways and byways. Alright, and it gave me the a precept, Amos 6 and 8. And I know that's saying let me just get it real quick. The Lord shall threaten who can but prophesy. Yeah. Oh, the lion hath roared. Who will not fear? The Lord hath spoken. Who can but prophesy? Right? So, who can but prophesy? That's all we're doing. That's why you want to go against us, because we're prophesying what the Most High has already ordained. right? I wanna skip down to 27, or or let's just keep going into it. But I really wanna get Revelation 17 and 18. Alright, so let me go to that. So this is Revelation 17. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters, talking about Babylon, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication, her philosophies. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness, and I saw a woman sit upon a scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. That's the NATO and the EU, right? The NATO is the military side of it. The EU is the economy side of it. And that woman was arrayed in purple. And you're not going to get this from the church. Can I say that one more time? And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet colored, and decked with gold and precious stone and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand, full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. Right? So it's that's how you know it's rich, abundant in their delicacies and such. Right? And upon her forehead was a name, and it's contrary to the Most High, with abominations and filthiness. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints, which are the Israelites, and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahawashi, which with the martyr, another word for martyr is witnesses, right, of Yahawashi. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. And the angel said unto me, Wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carrieth her, which hath the 7 heads and 10 horns. Right? The beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit, right, which is Europe, and go into perdition, which is destruction, and they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world. And that's what we're wondering. Are we the ones written in the book of life, right? Are we the elect of the nation of Israel, right? And we don't know these things. That's why it's going to be revealed to us in those times, right? When they beheld the beast that was and is not and yet is, the beast that was and is not and yet is, right? So this Roman Empire. And here's the mind which have wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains, 7 kingdoms, on which the woman sitteth. There are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space, right? So you can look that up in the NATO on them, right? Which is just, it's going into how what it is, and how what is going over time, right? says 11, and the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7, and goeth into perdition. Right? And that's talking about America. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. That's talking about the EU. These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall be the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is Lord of lords and King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful, the elect. He said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the horse sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. So it's sitting upon all these different nations. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. So even them, they're going to be those archers also going against America. Right? For the Most High Yahawah have put in their hearts to fulfill his will. So you know you don't have free will. And to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled. And the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth, which is America. So this is Revelation 18. After these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth is lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Right? Because it's going to become a desert. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth will wax rich through the abundance of her delicacies. That's how you know it's talking about America. Right? Because this place is rich. It's always in some kind of war, conflict, and there's always nations getting rich with this place. Right? And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. That's come out of her mentally, right? To turn back to the God of the Bible, Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High remembered her iniquities. That's how you know the Old Testament and the New Testament line up perfectly, right? And her sins have reached unto heaven. Look at the state of the earth right now. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. And the cup which she hath filled to her double. And that's even going into Psalm 137. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and I am no widow, and shall see no sorrow, because no place has taken this place down. Right? No nation or kingdom has taken this place, America, down. Therefore shall her place come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burnt with fire. For strong is the Lord power who judgeth her. Right? That's even going to Isaiah 66. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall be well and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. And that's pretty quick. Right? And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. Right? 12, the merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all thin wood or sweet wood and all manner of vessels of uri, and all manner of vessels of most precious wood, and of brass and iron and marble, and cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense, and wine and oil and fine flour, and wheat and beasts and sheep, and horses and chariots and slaves and souls of men. Because we're still slaves, and we're still under the so-called white man, the Edomites, right? And that's what they sell. They sell our labor, right? Because we're not on the level of the elites where we could just live deliciously, right? And the fruits, we gotta wake up every day and slave for these Edomites. And the fruits that thy soul lusteth after are departed from thee. And all things which are dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. The merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing, right? Saying, alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, for in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught, and every shipmaster and all the company and ships and sailors, and as many as trade by sea, stood afar off, and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, alas, alas, that great city, wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea, by reason of her costliness, for in 1 hour is she made desolate. Right, so they're gonna be crying and weeping and lamenting, because they're not gonna be making that kind of money no more. Rejoice over her, thou heaven, and you holy apostles and prophets, for the Most High have revenged you out of her, and Lord willing, we're accounted of that number, right? Of those apostles and prophets, right? We're all prophesying, we are doing the work. If we endure to the end, we do fit this prophecy. And the mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. So it's not going to rise back up. And the voice of harpers and musicians and of pipers and trumpets shall be heard no more at all in thee, and no craftsman or of whatsoever craft he be shall be found any more in thee, and the sound of a millstone shall be heard no more at all in thee. And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all in thee, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee, for thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived, right? Wickedness in high places. And in her was found the blood of prophets and of saints and of all that were slain upon the earth. So what happened before, back in the day, when we was in the time of Yahawashi, now it's gonna happen again. That's Revelation 20:4. But we don't fear these things, because what? We know that the Most High got us, right? His mercies endure forever, right? But yeah, that's really the point, right? There's more scriptures that go into it, but this is Isaiah 47, Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Right? Take the millstone and grind meal. Uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yet thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, I will not meet thee as a man. Right? So he's coming back as the angelic force, Yahawashi. As for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. Sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. I was wroth with my people, I have polluted my inheritance and given them into thine hand. So the people will be in their hand right now, and America fits that prophecy because what we're over here in the Americas, right? Thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou verily heavily laid the yoke. And thou sayest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, and didst remember the latter end of it, because now is coming the end of the kingdom. You didn't even consider it. Now look, it's going to be over just like that, like it was never here. Therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I am and none else besides me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood, they shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge have perverted thee, and thou hast said in thy heart, I am and none else besides me. Therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee, thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Stand now with thine enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries, lining up with Revelation 18, right? Wherein thou hast labored from thy youth, if so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so be thou mayest prevail. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels, let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Behold, they shall be as stubble, the fire shall burn them, they shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm at, no fire to sit before it. Thus shall they be unto thee with whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants of thy youth. They shall wander every one to his quarter, none shall save thee. Right? So it's coming. It's coming soon too. This destruction is coming real soon. This is Isaiah 66, right, and 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. And he's gonna come and hurt this place, America, also, right? For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many, right? That's really all I wanted from that, but I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Yahawashi. Double honors to the apostles and elders, the Greatmillstone, for teaching me this truth according to the Bible. Shalom. Israel.